So, question 2.
Cool.
This is from Ella. Says, yo, as a songwriter, you spend a lot of time working in your own company, and it's very easy to be harsh to yourself and say you're not good enough. This song isn't good as it could be, etc., etc. What's your advice to keep motivated and be more fairly critical of your own work?
Okay, so this is Ella Stephen. So I know Ella because I've talked to her quite a few times. We did a Skype. She is a country singer in a duo, and firstly, I mean, this is because there's lots of questions that come through where I don't actually know the artist, I don't know the band, but I'm aware of Ella's stuff. So firstly, I would say it's a good question because in her case, I mean, she's amazing.
Yeah.
So there's no doubt in my mind that she's good enough in this instance. But from a question for other people who are thinking the same thing, I mean, I think a lot of musicians will have these doubts in their head because they're putting stuff out there saying, am I good enough? I have the same thing.
Yeah.
Everybody does. Everyone has the same thing. I'm constantly looking at what I'm doing and I'm thinking, why is my YouTube channel not blowing up?
Yeah.
I made 250 videos. Why am I not PewDiePie?
Yeah.
You know, and I have to check myself and I have to say, well, hang on a minute. I'm aiming to a different demographic, but also maybe what I'm doing isn't right. Maybe I'm trying to do something. I need to tweak it. I need to experiment. For me, what I would do is I would constantly be looking at the audience feedback, the engagement, and actually looking at the stats. Because I think if you're looking at the stats behind what you're doing, you can start to get a picture of whether people like it, and asking people as well, asking people what they think, going and finding people who are outside your very, very close friends and family who will tell you what you want to hear. But I think, you know, when you are working in your own company, it becomes very insular and you are almost trapped by your own standards, as it were. So you're comparing yourself to massive, massive artists and then thinking, well, why is my stuff not taken off as well as their stuff? And so it's all about, for me, the 1% rule.
Yeah.
Every single day with my content, with my business, I am not trying to jump to X Factor standards. I'm not trying to go, nobody knows who I am, everybody knows who I am, I made one video. That might happen. I might make a video tomorrow and all of a sudden I might touch a nerve with musicians who just feel that they have to share it, who share it and share it and share it, and I might just grab another 50,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to let that be my drive. My drive is 1%. And it's not just 1% with the stats and the numbers, it's 1% with the product that I'm doing. Every single day I ask myself one question, which is, what can I do today that makes this business or this social media product, what can I do today that makes it just 1% better? Just 1%, even 0.5%, just something that you go, that is now better than it was. Whether it's me, whether it's, and it could be, and this is the best thing, it could be anything. It could be looking at what I'm wearing and going, God, I'm scruffy, because I am scruffy. And it could be like when we got the microphones and we just had lots of people going, get Melissa on microphone, because she coughs a lot. And so we were like, oh, how do we do that? And so we're constantly looking at ways that we can just improve something like 1%. So when it comes to bands, here's one thing I would definitely do is every time I do a show, I always want to debrief afterwards. And I always want, whether it's a manager or someone I trust in the audience, so that I'm remembering stuff at the show and I'm thinking, right, next time I want to change these little bits, to experiment, to try and make something 1% better. Now the reason for this is because it's only 1%. It's a tiny incremental increase in what you're doing. However, you do that for a month and you're 30% better. 30% in next month. Like between now and effectively the beginning of February-ish, you could be 30% better. And that is completely feasible. That's feasible for me with my product, with me with my business, with you, with your band. You can be looking at it, you can just go through everything and say, what is it that I can improve? And you go, well, the pictures aren't good enough, or the demos just aren't good enough quality. So you're working towards all of these different things and you're writing them in a calendar so you can actually see what is doing this.
Yeah.
And you get better and better. And if you're doing that, then, and this is where the answer to the question lies, if you're doing that, I would look at the stats. And as long as things are increasing and improving and you're getting good engagement from people and you're allowing people to comment on your stuff and you're building a community and you're getting their advice, then I think you'll find that it's allowing the audience to tell you that you're doing the right thing. And if the audience isn't, then you do need to improve. You know, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to improve and be better. But I have an issue, and this is where you get kind of, you know, especially with musicians and creatives, depression and mental health issues, where they're trying to jump too far. They're putting too much pressure on themselves, and then because of that, it's getting them down, and it becomes a spiral. We talk about momentum, and it's a backward spiral, and we don't want that. What we want is positive steps every single day. My New Year's resolution, which I am still doing, by the way, is every single day I've got a little journal, and every single day I write down 3 things that I'm just appreciative of. And yesterday, one of those things was eggs. Because I'm appreciative of eggs. It doesn't have to be,
I'm not expecting you to say that.
I'm appreciative of my family. And I'm appreciative. It doesn't have to be that. I just want 3 things that just triggers a bit of positivity in my life that I just go, God, that's really good. And yesterday, I didn't have eggs. And I got to the end of the day, because I have Crohn's and eggs are really helpful. And I was like, didn't have eggs. Don't feel very good. Damn it. And I was like, I appreciate eggs. Eggs are a good thing. Eggs are a damn good thing. But if you're vegan, not. No, not really.
I think you're right in terms of like kind of writing stuff down as well, because literally just being on a songwriter's course, everyone has this problem of like being like your own worst enemy at times. And I think like the idea of writing stuff down and writing how far you've come, even if it's just little steps each day, can be so rewarding.
Which is a good point, because if you look at the journey of artists, they're constantly looking forward. They're constantly looking at what's next. I'm very guilty of this myself. Very rarely do I stop, stick my head up and go, wow, look how far we've come. You know, every so often someone will say something on social media. Someone came through the other day and just said, wow, I was one of the first 100 subscribers and now you're on like, you know, 20,000. And I was like, wow, I didn't, that wasn't very long ago, you know, but that wouldn't have occurred to me until someone pointed stuff out. And I feel like what we do is better. I feel like we're creating content which is more helpful to musicians and for bands. We've got a better platform. We're building a community. We've got some amazing things coming up, potentially with some prizes which are off the chart, like off the chart good, that can really help. Next level. And I'm thinking, this is amazing, but I very rarely would I think that. I'm just like, what's tomorrow? What's the next day? So it's easy to get caught up in that. So to actually write stuff down and actually be able to look back and actually look at the figures, look at the stats and think, this is moving in the right direction. And if it's not, is at that point you just say, right, it isn't moving in the right direction. Because some of my stuff isn't. You know, my Instagram I struggle with. And I really want, I have this love and hate thing where I want it to be really good, but I can't be asked to put the work in because I just don't like Instagram. It's just my personal thing. And then I go, no, I'm going to do it. And then I start working on it and go, oh, I don't care. It's not my, don't, I like Facebook and I like YouTube, so it's just my thing. And so if I don't care about it, then why would anyone else care about it? So.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So, question 3.
But Ella, you're amazing. So you don't have to worry about it.